this video, we cover the following topics. Gather the following gear to practice along. Pause to read. The Visual Library of Techniques is a comprehensive collection of watercolor effects. Each technique is demonstrated visually and explained to help artists understand and master various skills. Its purpose is to serve as a quick reference and learning tool, allowing artists to explore different techniques in an organized and accessible way. Each technique is presented with clear instructions and visual examples, making it easy for artists to practice and apply them to their own work. This resource is designed to enhance the artist's understanding of watercolor and expand their creative possibilities. This flipbook will be an invaluable tool, especially for beginners to refer back to and practice techniques. Using a ruler, measure and mark each 9 by 12 sheet of watercolor paper to segment it into 9 3 by 4 inch parts. Then draw lines with a pencil to identify where to cut the cards. Optionally, cut the paper into individual cards to work on each technique. This helps maintain a singular focus for viewers. Or fill an entire sheet with techniques instead and then simply cut them in step 5. For each 3 by 4 inch segment, watch the accompanying video. Practice along with me by following along with the QR codes in my book or the Visual Library playlist. Scan the codes to watch and learn. Then, perform each lesson to add cards to your own interactive visual library of watercolor techniques. It's helpful to label each technique for future reference. You may write on one edge or the back of each card. I've chosen to stamp my cards, but any method of labeling is acceptable. This will help to remember and identify each technique later. After completing each technique, allow adequate time for each segment to dry completely. When the card is completely dry, remove any tape used to secure the paper used to stretch the cards, allowing them to dry flat. Apply gentle heat to relax the adhesive if the tape does not remove easily. This will prevent ripping or tearing the paper. Cut along the horizontal or width every 3 inches and along the vertical or length every 4 inches to produce the cards. However, if you cut in step 1b, skip this step. If the techniques were completed one sheet at a time, carefully cut along the lines marked in step 1a using a cutting tool. Scissors or a paper cutter work great. I like to use a Fiskars paper cutter to keep things nice and straight. However, if you cut this in step 1b, then skip this step. Once all segments are dry, gather them in any order desired. Punch a single hole into a corner of each card. I've selected the opposite corner from where I began labeling to provide the most space for each card title. Stack all of the cards and thread the open binder ring through the hole punched in step 6. Close the binder ring to connect the visual library together into your new interactive book of techniques. This makes it easy to flip through and find the perfect technique to complete your work. Browse through your visual library of techniques flipbook regularly. Take notes on the reverse of the card. It's always a good idea when you aren't sure what to work on to go back to the basics and practice these techniques. This flipbook configuration makes it possible to review and easily reflect on the techniques. Let's look at some alternatives to the hole punch and ring configuration. Place full sheets in a binder. Instead of cutting paper into cards, use full-sized sheets of watercolor paper that can be 3-hole punched and inserted directly into the binder. Create organizational sections within the binder using dividers for primary colors, secondary colors, mixing tests, and specific techniques. Label each section for easy navigation. A recipe box. This size card should fit into most standard-sized recipe boxes. The lid feature makes it convenient to store and protect your cards. In this case, there's no need to punch a hole. and a dollar store mini crate. For $1.25 plus tax, a miniature wooden crate is an affordable alternative that's perfect for storing this size card and storage of your visual library of techniques. This could also double as storage for your paint swatch cards. Find the full library of techniques in the book, Comprehensive Watercolor, an interactive guide for learning to paint with watercolor. Here are a few examples of some upcoming techniques. Comprehensive Watercolor isn't just a book, it's a companion for your artistic journey. With detailed explanations, visual examples, and hundreds of videos, it meets you wherever you are in your watercolor adventure. Discover how watercolor works, why it behaves the way it does, and how you can harness its unique qualities to create stunning art. Comprehensive Watercolor offers a clear, approachable guide to mastering this beautiful medium. Take the next step in your watercolor journey and get your copy of Comprehensive Watercolor today. You'll find the links to purchase in the description below. The Ultimate Watercolor Product Guide covers virtually all the gear a watercolorist needs to begin a lifelong journey of watercolor painting and includes recommendations for gear like equipment, materials, supplies, tools, mixed media, and more. This free guide accompanies the book, Comprehensive Watercolor, an interactive guide for learning to paint with watercolor. Download your free copy of the Ultimate Watercolor Product Guide today by clicking the link located in the video description below or visiting mandakins.com. Thank you for watching. Tap the archer to subscribe and the bell to be notified when I post new content. To continue your watercolor journey, click a video from one of the playlists above.